Hi everyone, my name's Liam. I'm the curator here at Monaghan County Museum. You're very welcome to the latest in our series of short films about the exhibition we have here at the museum right now on the War of Independence in Monaghan from 1919 to 1921. So today we're talking about another key step in this conflict. The Royal Irish Constabulary, which are the police force here in Monaghan, indeed around the country, are under an awful lot of pressure. The IRA are forcing them out of barracks, they're constantly retreating. The British government feels that they need more support, so they bring in two sets of support. The first become known as the Blackened Hands. These essentially are made up of ex-army servicemen who fought during the war, the First World War, and they're brought over here and essentially they're just given the direct instruction to break up the IRA, do everything they can to cause problems for them. So they do this in a number of ways. The uniform that they take on is part the RIC, the dark tunic, and part their army uniform as well, the grey khaki colour, which leads them to be called the Blackened Hands, like the gentleman standing behind me with the uniform. It's a classic uniform from that time. There was another group called the Auxiliaries, and they were made up of British officers, and they wore a uniform like the one here behind me. So these were seen throughout the country at this time, and this led to a huge upsurge in the violence around the country and indeed here in Monaghan. There are a number of events that happen in this period. One of the first ones in this really dramatic and violent period that leads from January up until the signing of the truce in July 1921 is the Christmas of that period, 1920. The Blackened Hands in Constabulary apparently went on a rampage around the town, and over the next few days, whenever the papers were published, they said that the local people were in fear of their lives. There was then an attack on Ballybay Barracks on the 1st of January 1921, New Year's Day. And this was an attack, obviously, as in Raid for Arms, but it was also an attack on the Blackened Hands that were based there. This was a major firefight on the streets of Ballybay, which led to the death of two people. One of them was a member of the RIC, one of the Blackened Hands. Another person was the local butcher from the street who ran out in the middle of the firefight, and whether he's running to possibly help the Blackened Hands, the RIC, or perhaps he was doing something else, we'll never know. But he was caught in the crossfire and he was killed. Now again, this was seen as a big propaganda coup for the IRA, and that was considered a successful attack on the RIC barracks. Later on in January, 3 other RIC officers are shot dead outside Kirkcahan, outside the Leonard pub there. And these events go on for the next number of months. It's sort of a tit for tat. You have a number of these events. In February of that year, the Blackened Hands arrest a man called Patrick McCabe. They beat him severely, wrap a Union Jack around his head and make him walk through Carrickmacross. Now these sort of acts of violence went on to make the Blackened Hands absolutely infamous. In May of that year, the IRA attacked an RIC group just outside, in between Carrickmacross and Constabulary, and another constable then, or an RIC officer, was killed then. And the next few days, the Blackened Hands come into Carrickmacross, and they really do intimidate the people of the town. And indeed, they post a notice later on in May to say that they challenge everyone in the Carrickmacross IRA brigade to a fight. They just say name a time and a place. Another major event in this time was a shootout in Karna, which happened in late June near Karna railway station. And this was again where the IRA were going to attack an entrenched position. However, they didn't realise that there was a group of auxiliaries in the bridge above them, and this led to a huge firefight where 2 IRA men, 2 McEnany cousins were killed. And again, these events went on tit for tat, tit for tat. This was something that happened during this period and again led to becoming really quite a bloody and violent period in the Monaghan conflict. And it's synonymous with the Blackened Hands and the Auxiliaries in this county. So if you want to find out more about this story, go to our website, or indeed if you want to see more of the films in this series, go to our YouTube page, follow us on Facebook or on Twitter. Thanks very much.